Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Sinclair. This is the BPN for RDI, Black Professionals Network, and we have another spotlight for you guys. I think you're really going to enjoy this. I want to introduce you guys to Natalie.
Hey,
how are you?
Good, doing great.
Good. Can you give the people a little bit of kind of like an introduction? Who is Natalie? And,
Sure. I'm Natalie Young, business owner right here in Las Vegas downtown. I currently own 3 businesses. One called Eat, which is a breakfast and lunch restaurant over on 7th and Carson. Then I own another restaurant called Old Soul, which is in the World Market Design Center. New American old school restaurant. And then I just currently opened where we're at right now is called Authentik, which is a kind of repurposed furniture store. Anything that's interesting and cool that I like is in here. And so I just wanted to kind of share a different passion with people. So that's where we're at today.
That's amazing. I love this place too. This place looks amazing.
Thank you.
How did you get into this business entrepreneurial mindset? When did that all stuff fall together?
Well, to be quite honest, I never thought that I would be a business owner per se. I was in Las Vegas for a good 15 years or so as a professional chef in some of the casinos and whatnot. And I was approached for an opportunity to do my own restaurant. It's just really small and I think very inviting. And at the time it worked really well. And it's still working today. So it's like 8 years later and Eat's doing really well. And then I had the opportunity, I was approached by some people at World Market to do a venue there. And so I did that. And then the way that Authentik started was I have a love for furniture. And I like what I like. So I just decided I'd open a little shop, a little passion project, a little shop, and kind of fill it with things that I love.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And everything I've done hasn't succeeded. I've had some failures, or I wouldn't say failures, I've had some lessons. So everything isn't you swing to the fences and sometimes you miss and sometimes you don't run, but you gotta swing.
Right, there it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what I noticed in, the 2 restaurants is that, people are approaching you because of your abilities. And you know what I mean? Like you.
I keep everything very small. I think I put things in compartments because I think that would be overwhelmed if I looked at all the stuff I'm actually doing and what I have going on. I think I'm just a steward. I get to do these things, but I don't own anything. I don't possess anything. These things are on loan to me to take care of, to hopefully share and help other people. I really feel strongly about that. So I try to keep it like right size. Yeah.
Can you, for the young entrepreneur out there, or the person that believes they want to be an entrepreneur, may not even know what that really means, but they just know they want to have some type of ownership. They want to, they want to be successful. What kind of advice would you give to someone on that path?
Well, there's no easy answer to that. I think you got to grind before you shine. You got to put in the work. There's very few people are instantly successful. This has taken me 30 years to just go in, work really hard, shut up, do what I'm told, learn while I'm doing it, and then take and apply all of those things that I've learned in the past 30 years to what I'm doing today. Sometimes I think people get caught up on what they want and what they think they should get and how they think they should be treated. And they don't understand that there's something much bigger than all of us in my world, much bigger than all of us. That I'm on this journey so I can learn these lessons so I can get to where I'm going.
Yes.
So if I swallow my pride and just kind of be like, there's a lesson in this for me. There's a lesson in this for me. Then my experience has been is I get to sit in my own business and do what I want today. But for many, many years I did what somebody else wanted. And that's not everybody's journey. Not everybody's not. I don't know why I'm doing this. Not everybody's supposed to own their own business, And listen, there's a lot of sacrifice. I don't have a family, I am married to my work. So, I don't go to weddings. I don't go to concerts. I don't call out sick. I don't have temper tantrums. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with owning your own business, and a lot of sacrifice. So there's no magic. It's not all fun and games. It's not skipping through the roses, petting puppies. It's hard work.
And people do not talk about that side of things as much, because I think when people they when they say entrepreneur in their mind, they're thinking
they're the
I'm
boss.
rich and and I don't do anything.
No.
I just like go on the beach and I'm like hanging out.
Let me tell you this: if I don't do it, nobody does it. If I don't set it up, if I don't watch it, if I don't direct, if I don't organize, if I don't delegate, then it doesn't get done. I have right now in my little company, I have an amazing, probably the best team I've ever had in my career of being an entrepreneur. But still, these people want to be managed, and they want direction, and they want leadership, and they want guidance, and they look to me for that. So there's no, I don't feel like it today. There's none of that. You got to run the business. Who's going to run the business? And in your first few years, you should be at your business every single day for at least 2 solid years, every single day, if you want it to be successful. That's my experience. I don't know how other people do it. That's what I've had.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's something that I've been catching from this, like the successful people we're able to sit with and talk to, and it's this work ethic that you guys have put in before you were a business owner.
Yeah.
When you were, like you said, working for someone else. Yeah. You were going hard. Can we speak? Can you go into like that type of work ethic? What does that look like for somebody, to be able to move to that next level?
Well, I think that first you have to be a master of being a good employee before you can be a good employer. And so that means showing up early, on times late, going above and beyond, and not because you're trying to prove a point, but because it's your own personal goal to be better every day, to wake up every day and push yourself to be just a little bit better. And at the end of the day, think about what could have I done today to be better. I think a lot of people just kind of run on autopilot and they don't really put in the energy or the thought towards being more successful. It just doesn't happen. It takes work and grind to be successful. And I tell people around me, if you want what I have, do what I do. And I haven't met anybody that wants to do what I do yet. So
I like that.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit of like, kind of like your backstory, how you grew up, maybe where you're from,
Sure.
that type of stuff?
I grew up in Colorado with 2 wonderful parents in a neighborhood called Aurora. I don't know, freaking 40 years ago. Really nice upper middle class neighborhood. Never wanted for anything. Very nice middle class family. I had a pretty basic, growing up. Nothing happened. As a kid, I was just kind of an odd kid. Went to high school. Just regular high school. Nothing out of the ordinary. Probably about 17, 18, started experimenting with drugs and alcohol. Probably from like 18 to 37, had, pretty, as it gradually developed into a problem with alcohol and drugs. Got sober at 37, and I've been sober for 20 years now. That's, when I used to be kind of alienated from my differences when I was younger, now I'm being celebrated for those same differences as I'm older. As I walk down my own path and make my own decisions and create things like this, people get it and they're happy. But I was the same person, obviously younger, but it wasn't so celebrated then, But I think that when you're marching to the beat of your own drummer, it just you get strong. It builds a strong human, because you're kind of, there's a pack and then there you are, and you just kind of find your own way and you evolve into whatever you're going to evolve into by following your own path, So I'm big on the late bloomers and the oddballs and the underdogs. I'm a huge underdog fan because I'm an underdog. So I just think that people should, if you have a passion, it doesn't mean you're going to be rich. It doesn't mean that other people are going to understand or appreciate it. But what it does mean, and if you follow that, is that you're going to be happy, and that's what all this is about, right? It's about doing things that you're personally happy to do, and that and fill you up. And then if you're filled up, if I do something I love, hopefully other people will understand that and love it too.
Well, if you had one thing that you could say to, because we have a lot of 20-something-year-old people in the BPN, and the majority thing that they ask about is, either health, finance, or accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you were to speak to any of those things, like what would you tell them,
I would just say, if you're on a journey that's uncomfortable, that it's probably exactly where you're supposed to be where you're at, and learn from the opportunities that are presented in front of you, whether they're uncomfortable or not. And it might be setting you up for something amazing. And if you love something, put everything you have into what you love, but don't put anything on the expectations for the result.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have expectations and don't worry about the result. Having a nice car and all that stuff is really empty. It's about being full inside and following your passion inside, and then not only just saying, oh, I want to be a writer, but never practicing or never going to school or never sacrificing to be a writer. It's like, do everything you have to do in order to be a great writer. What does that mean? Like, you just don't wake up in the morning and become a great writer. I think that's the problem today, is everybody thinks you're just going to wake up and be perfect. And it doesn't, that does not happen. Some people are lucky. Don't look at the people that are lucky, look at the people that work.
I like that. That is strong right there. Don't look at the people that are lucky. Look at the people that work.
Yeah, find an example, find a role model that is successful but grinds, and has integrity and is kind and gives,
Natalie, thank you so much for taking this time out. I know so many people are going to get something out of this. I got something out of this, so I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. I appreciate it. Any way I can help. And if anybody wants to come and talk to me, I'm always open to sit down and have a conversation. And there's no key. There's no key to this. It's just hard.
There's no key to this. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again,
You're welcome.
Natalie.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Yay. Thanks for coming down.